to summarize how I'm feeling right now, I'm just beyond shocked. It's really hard to verbalize how I am feeling at this point. And the season's going to start, so I'm going to obviously let my lawyers handle matters from here on out, and I am completely assisting in all investigations that are taking place right now. I'm looking forward to focusing on the season. I'm glad that we had this opportunity to talk, and I'm sure there'll be continuing investigations moving forward.
Now, back to Willard and Dibs on 95.7 The Game.
You know what's really kind of ironic? I'm going to let my lawyers handle it from here. Buddy, they've been the ones handling it so far this week.
Oops.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Another great tweet from Andrew Brandt. Either Otani is not telling the truth or has the worst best friend, interpreter, accountant, manager, agent, bank in history. You're either not telling the truth or you surrounded yourself with morons. Unless all of them are also in on it.
Right.
Maybe Ipe split $4.5 million with everybody. I mean, the list of mistakes made by everyone around you, if you're now telling the truth, is stunning.
Right.
Overwhelming.
Well, and it starts with that initial, hey, let's meet the press moment where you go out and you talk about Ipe in one way, saying that he's got a gambling problem and I helped him out. And then 24 hours later, you have to circle back around and realize, oops, we can't say that because that turns out to be, what is it, wire fraud? If you're sending $4.5 million to an illegal bookmaker,
I don't know if that's what they would call it. Yeah. You're not. I mean,
probably not money laundering, but it is illegal.
Gambling is not legal in California.
Correct. And so that becomes an oops moment. And if that is the case, and then now you're circling back and saying he stole from you, it just seems like even though he was up there today and he was pretty definitive, saying exactly what he thought the situation was, time will tell, and there will be a paper trail as it pertains to all those questions that you and I and everybody have.
I mean, you want to talk about a parlay. Take a listen to this. First of all, you spent the last 4 days of your life in Vegas.
Right. Legal gambling.
Second of all, the lovely Christy is leading the March Madness 95.7 The Game pool. That's
no money involved. We're doing it for fun.
That's embarrassing.
Yep.
Third of all, Shohei Ohtani's press conference, but not a press conference because it wasn't a conference, because a conference means multiple people speak, and Shohei was the only one to speak, along with his interpreter.
Yeah.
And while all of that was happening, Adrian Wojnarowski is tweeting about an NBA investigation that has been launched into little-known Raptors player Jontay Porter because of prop bet irregularities surrounding him over 2 games, one of which happened this month, one back in January.
It's the younger brother of Michael Porter Jr. on the Nuggets.
There you go. Thank you for that, Lucas.
I also have more if you ever want to get more into this.
Why, did you bet on him to go over 4.5 rebounds that night or something?
No, but it's interesting. There is a lot of fishy stuff. It sounds like he probably told somebody, I'm not going to play much. My eye's hurting. He played 3 minutes in one game and then exited, hit the under on all of those props. Had a really good game the next game, and then the game after that, he hit all of his unders again and only played just a couple minutes in that one as well.
Yeah, but
I see 243 against Sacramento.
He's not in charge of his minutes, though, so is the coach in on it?
No, but my eye. I've got an eye issue.
Oh, my eye.
One was an eye and the other one was an illness.
After he started playing.
That's right.
He got sick 3 minutes into the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm looking at his game log, and it's Portland and Cleveland, 3 minutes, 0 of 1. He was a -3. He did shoot a 3, so he's going to jake on the game. You come in, jack a 3. I got a tummy ache. I'm out. Cash me out one time.
January 26th against the Clippers was the first that raised some eyebrows. He played 4 minutes before leaving the game due to what the Raptors said was re-aggravation of an eye injury. And then March 20th was a game against the Suns. Porter played just 3 minutes before leaving the game due to what the Raptors said was an illness. Did not return.
This just in. Some of Ipe's bets are now being made public. Let's see. It says on January 26th, he put $4.5 million on Jontay Porter's over rebounds. Oh.
That's a bad beat.
Just missed.
Cash me out one time.
Just missed. That's tough. tough break there for Ipe.
Yeah.
Ipe.
And you were kind of joking around as we were both listening to the Shohei presser, and we saw this news cross the Woj bomb. Sports, this could be trouble
Sports
for sports.
Is over,
Sports is over is what you said.
Willard and Dibs would like to thank you for your participation through the years. We're done. Sports is over.
Back to traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
We got problems on the Nimitz mark. It's a 3-car conundrum.
There are bigger questions, and they're not for today. But, for instance, somebody just pointed out, ESPN2 was broadcasting the Shohei press conference with betting lines on the crawl below the press conference.
As it pertained to Shohei?
No.
They weren't guilty or innocent. Props.
Over or under 4,000 words in this press conference.
Lifetime ban, I wonder what the odds are. And that's more of a Jimmy Shapiro. I'll wait for that to come up. But I'm sure you'll be able to bet on suspension length and lifetime ban and maybe even, prison sentence?
Well, yeah, I'm sure. Sure.
I mean, depending on what he actually did or knew.
Right.
This story is fascinating in a number of ways, and not least of which the fact that there is an interpreter involved, not the interpreter who allegedly stole from him, but now another interpreter, because we don't really know exactly what he's saying. I don't speak Japanese.
Would it be amazing if Shohei now went to the interpreter and went, wait, you said what?
Right.
No, I admitted that I've got a gambling problem. What did you say up there?
Exactly.
Now, Shohei understands English.
Yeah.
Shohei understands English. Shohei speaks some English.
But he said in the part of the press conference today that as the old interpreter was telling the team, he wasn't catching all of it.
I sort of understood what was going on.
Right.
He knew what was going on. And
I wonder if he sort of understood what his interpreter was doing all those years, because they worked together for 11 years. So did this gambling problem and this penchant for theft just come out of nowhere? Did he suddenly become a gambleaholic and a thief?
And you gave access to your accounts?
To a gambleaholic and or a thief. I mean, how can you be blindsided by an 11-year friendship? And I was just looking up I Googled, how do you wire $500,000? Because it's what I do. I try to do my research on the fly.
What'd you find?
You need the person's name, obviously, the address, the pertinent stuff. You also need their account number and their routing number.
Okay, that's not hard.
Well, you would need their account number. I don't know your account number.
No. But I could, if you were my business partner and I was like, I'm a billionaire, I don't have time, I need to hit one over the right field fence, I could give you my account and routing number. That's not hard.
You could, right. But and I wonder if you would not have, if you were a billionaire, would you have a fail-safe in your own account to get, like you said, fraud notifications?
Yeah.
But I was walking back.
It's got to be bigger than that. That's all you need? Is the name, the account, and the routing number?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. And the phone number and address, stuff like that. Information that you can easily get.
And you can wire $500,000 with that?
Yeah, there's no limit. Shout out No Limit Records, $500,000.
I would think that, my understanding with wire transfers is that's what you need to start, but then you get a phone call. Especially at that amount of money. Then you get a phone call.
Yeah, this is Shohei. Go ahead and green light that. I got 8 more coming.
Some vocal recognition or whatever. Like if I had that amount of money in the bank, yeah. Like the security level would be pretty high. That doesn't make any sense.
Howard Kushlan on the YouTube feed. I wire millions. Dibley is right. And that's why when you go to buy a house and you have to wire that, like the money that you get from the sale of the one house, and you're going to send that in as a big down payment, they make sure you triple, quadruple, and quintuple check, because once that wire goes through, there's no undo button on that wire. So you send $400,000 to put down on your new house because you sold 2 houses to buy one house. And once you hit that button, that's it. I hope the recipient is on the level. If not, you out $400,000. Wire transfers they're a lot easier than you would think.
But again,
because I'm with you, bro.
But there's still the knowledge.
Correct.
So that
I don't know your account number.
No. I don't just mean, okay, fine. Ipe's got all the info. He's got all the account numbers. He's got the phone number. He's got the address. He knows how to spell Otani. All great. But then it all happens 9 different times over a lengthy period, and Shohei has no idea. I mean, I'm sure Shohei's not like the rest of us. He's not on his banking app every day.
Yeah.
Is there still money in there?
Seriously.
Can I afford baby carrots at Safeway? That's not where we're at. I get that. And so I understand if you're an international celebrity and incredibly, incredibly wealthy, yeah, you've got people. You've got people. But for me, that ends up being sort of the fundamental, like we've been asking the specific questions. Let me give more of the umbrella overall question. Shohei, what the hell is up with the people who are around you? So now I'm to believe, go with me here, I'm to believe that my best friend for 11 years, an interpreter, I have given this person basically power of attorney. I have given them the green light to get into my bank accounts and make moves. I also have a lawyer and an agent, or multiple lawyers and an agent, who were well aware of all of this, and in fact were even speaking to the media about it last Monday, all without my knowledge. Shohei, what is going on between you and the people around you? Seems like there's a wee bit of a discord there.
Right. And if you've had this friendship for 11 years, are you telling me you had no indication in the past that this person could be somebody who could do these things to their best friend? And you probably spend damn near every day with them because you don't have a great command of the language and you're doing so much and you're doing, things in the community and you're at the ballpark every day. And so when you're at the park, he's at the park and you're spending all this time with him, you're either a horrific judge of character or you're not telling the total truth. One of the two.
Man. Yeah, this not over.
No. You
Not
get the
even
IRS
close.
involved.
Yeah.
So, and you talked about UNFP, we're in the bottom of the second. Maybe the second inning's over, and Shohei Ohtani might be up 2-0. That went pretty well for him today. He didn't have to answer questions, and he definitively rebuked any notion that he knows anything about anything. Well, one big piece that is still yet to really be unearthed is the bookie, because they're going to come down on this bookie who received the $4.5 million. They're coming down on him like a ton of bricks, and they're going to be, he's going to be facing felony charges for wire fraud, receiving this sort of money. And if he really is the bookmaker that he is alleged to be, then he's looking at a long stretch behind bars, unless you want to play ball. Then I think it's going to become interesting. And it's his credibility against Ippei's, against Shohei's credibility.
Our brain always goes to like a Law and Order episode. We did this last week. Like, we're going to go the dramatic route. And people are lying, and there's embezzlement, and there's fraud, and there's all this. I don't know. Like, let's not act like we know Shohei Ohtani, but to look at the guy, to watch him play, to gather what we've gathered from the people who are around him, at least on a surface level, like, he looks and feels like just the simplest thing ever. Just this smiley, nice guy who's like, watch this, I hit baseball very far and pitch baseball too.
Yeah.
And that's my life. That's it. Recently got married, but outside of that, his whole world, I had called him before, he's like the Kevin Durant of baseball. Like, that's it. There's just ball. There's me and my ball, and that's it. And so now we're going to take that person and turn this into like a movie, like a scandalous movie. That's hard for me to believe too.
It doesn't have to be a scandalous movie. It could be.
Well, we got scandal.
Well,
One way or another, we got scandal.
Correct. But the scandal could just be in the cover-up. The scandal could not be. It could be as simple as they are best friends, and he maybe knew that his buddy Ippei dabbled here and dabbled there with some gambling. Maybe he didn't realize that he was on the hook for 4.5 large, and they were calling for him to pay up. And so Ippei goes to his buddy Shohei and says, you know what, I got in a little bit of trouble here. Can you help me out? And Shohei says, sure, let me get my wallet. And Ippei says, hold off on the wallet. Let me borrow your phone. And he says, I need 4.5 large. And Shohei goes, all right, this is the last time. And Shohei does him a solid. And then word gets out, and now they're found out. And now we're just going to try to put it to rest with a simple, I was just helping a friend story. Well, you can't help your friend do that, Shohei.
Yeah, but I got a hard time with so many different pieces of this. So now, like Ipe, who Dallas Braden is like, everybody around baseball loves this guy. And he's been Shohei's guy for 11 years. And he's going to do him like that? $4.5 million?
He's just going to rob him?
There's just so many things I have such a hard time with that don't feel like they add up. Let's go to Mo in Hayward Hills. Hey, Mo, what you doing, man?
Mo.
Hello. Good afternoon.
To you as well.
I cannot believe I get to be live with Mr. Dan Dibley. He's never wrong, but on this one, he is wrong. When it comes to sending wires, you actually need more than routing and an account number, sir. There's going to be security questions involved and confirmation. You get a passcode on your cell phone, and you have to actually input that code into it to be able to go through. And then not only that, you have to approve it either by voice recognition, your PIN code, or token questions that only you know, and I highly doubt his best friend knew those.
Although I find it I actually find believable.
So Otani's out there on the mound. Thank you, Mo, and I love you too. So Otani's out there in the stretch in the third inning, and Ipe, you got nothing to interpret because my client's on the mound. I'm going to slip back into the clubhouse and beepity boppity boop, use the unlock code on his phone, and bust out a quick couple of wires here.
Oddly, of all the things I don't believe here, I do believe that. Like if you told me, right, these two have been side by side for 11 years, and Shohei is an international icon, and you told me, yes, Shohei gave Ipe access to his accounts, access to his cell phone, access to his records, his email, if he's got access to everything, I'd be like, okay, I totally believe that. I totally believe that. I mean, that's what massively, massively wealthy people do. They don't go to the grocery store.
Right. They send Ipe.
Shohei, someone like that, I don't know if they do anything for themselves.
Other than pitch and hit.
They hit a baseball. Like that amount of money. I mentioned this last week. I don't even know if you know this because you were off there in Vegas, with the purple drink. But hey, so did you know that last year, off the field dollars, MLB players, endorsements, whatever, off the field dollars, number 2 and number 3 are Bryce Harper and Aaron Judge. They both make about $6 or $7 million off the field.
Right.
Number 1 is Shohei. Do you know what that number is?
Probably 100 million.
65.
It's pretty good.
10 times what second place is.
And I wonder how much of that comes from countries outside of America.
Oh, a lot.
Probably 80% of it.
I mean, in Japan, this is the biggest thing going. This is LeBron plus in Japan.
Right.
So you're talking about someone that is so overwhelmingly wealthy. This is why he can do a contract for $700 million and be like, but pay me later on all of it. Right? So incredibly wealthy. Yeah, and such a celebrity. You're not doing stuff for yourself. So that is, of all the things that people would say here, I believe that. I believe that he could give access to Ipe. But I do think it's a very, very separate thing to then execute this 9 different times without Shohei's knowledge. And oh, by the way, Shohei doesn't even know you gamble. So think about that now. I love this person like a brother. I'm with him all the time. I know everything about him. I trust him with my codes, my phone, my account, my banking, my routing. I trust him with my life. But I don't even know that he gambles? That's the part that's hard for me to believe.
Yeah.
That doesn't add up to me at all.
Impossible.
And my representatives are with him on a set at ESPN doing an interview. I don't know about that either.
No.
I still don't even know that he's got a gambling problem. That doesn't add up.
I buy the first story, which is Ipe was in trouble, and I did him a solid. He needed $4.5 million, and the story is that he didn't want to put it right in Ipe's account because he didn't trust Ipe to not go out there and gamble that away. So he went straight to the bookie. and maybe he was going to give Ipe a stern talking to about any more additional gambling in the future. But once he realized that that's not okay, that has sent him into backtrack mode.